Hi everybody, welcome to a new tutorial from Sound for More. It's Leo speaking. Today I'm going to go through the arpeggio functionalities of the Fantom O. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as that help growing the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, I must start straight away saying that the arpeggio functionality, as in many Roland Fantom series, is not one of the features that I like the most. Having used Kronos, having used Yamaha Montage, I actually think this is, in my view, sorry Roland, the weakest thing of the Fantom series. Why am I saying that? Because of the limited functionality that the arpeggio has in Fantom. So what do I mean by that? Well, there is only one arpeggio, so you cannot do more than one arpeggio with different settings, for example, for different zones. So Kronos will allow you to do 4 at the same time via Karma. Montage will allow you to do 8, for example, at the same time. Fantom 1. It was the same on the FA series. It was the same on the Fantom G as well, and it is the same again on the latest Fantom. You have only one arpeggio that can run with different settings at the same time. Granted that it can actually, you can set the same arpeggio to play for different zone, but it will be with exactly the same setting. So you cannot have, for example, an arpeggio playing in up and down on one zone and then a different arpeggio playing chords in a different zone. It doesn't allow you to do that. So bear that in mind. So let's start with seeing how that works. So let's go press enter and let's choose a bank D and then an initial scene. Okay, let's click on the zone view, and this is the zone view that comes as standard. You can click again on zone view to change that. So you can see 8 zones, 16 zones, 1 zone, 4 zones, etc, etc. Now, you can see up here there is a button which says ARP, that is to enable that zone to play arpeggio. So in this case we have a piano that is enabled, but if I click now, or sorry, if I press some keys on the keyboard, you just hear a normal chord. Now, there is a button on the left hand side of the sliders near the chord memory button below the zone select button which says arpeggio. So press on it and it will lit and you will have this wonderful screen. Now if you press keys on your keyboard, like for example, I don't know, a C major chord, you hear the arpeggio being played. And let's press exit to return to the zone view. Now let's take, for example, the second zone there. Let's activate the arpeggio there again, and let's change the preset there. And let's say that we go for a bass, like so, and then we select zone 1 and 2 to be played at the same time. Okay, and then what we are going to do here, where we have the starting the ending note for that second zone, we are going to press shift and then on the B3 key. So we limit that for the bass to go up to B3, and then we do the same on the starting key or range for the first zone, shift, and we press C4. So from C4 upwards I hear only the piano, which of course we have an arpeggio, and below C4 I have only a bass. Now you hear exactly the same arpeggio settings applied for both the bass and also the piano at the same time. Okay. So you can hear the bass here, which has that arpeggio applied. And as I was saying at the beginning of the introduction, you cannot have different types of arpeggio per different zone. It's the same arpeggio which can play against multiple zones, but it's the same arpeggio. So let's deactivate now the ARP on the bass, okay? And let's change the range again, the C4, there shift, and I press on the first note to get the C2. Okay, but you can change that to whatever you like. So you can see the range changing there. Let's also disable zone 2 so that we go back to just a piano. Okay, so now we still have arpeggio activated there for the piano. If you press the arpeggio button again, it will actually unlit, and of course if you press again, it will go into the settings. Another way to go directly into the setting without doing that is hold the shift key and press on the arpeggio again. You go back to the arpeggio settings. Okay, so starting from the top, you have different styles. So if you press enter, you see the different styles that you have available within the Fantom. Now, there are 128 styles. Again, this is where my view is very limited. If you look at a Yamaha montage, you have more than 10,000. So I think that is an area, in my view, of course, at the time of recording this video, unless Roland changes this, but I haven't seen this changing in other Fantoms. So this is a very limited arpeggio in terms of functionality and style. But nevertheless, you have different types of arpeggio. You have for acoustic guitar, for example, there, electric guitar, some for bass, etc., etc. Also, one of the things that it doesn't do, it doesn't recognize, for example, arpeggio based on the type of presets. Why, if you have a montage, actually you will see that it will does that, which is quite nice as well. Also, something else that it doesn't do is you can not load a phrase which you record yourself that can be played by the arpeggio, not at this time. That is something that, for example, the Fantom G could do, but not on the latest Fantom. You can't do that. Now, you could say pattern as something that perhaps can replace arpeggio. Granted, I think that's the case, but in that case, why to have the arpeggio at all and a Fantom with so limited functionality? Now, in terms of other settings, down here, you can set the arpeggio to be on hold. And if you enable that, as you press a chord and let go, it will keep playing. It's the same as clicking hold here, and you can do it also through the pedal, which is really nice. Next, you have another option which allows you to change the variation of, for example, if you're playing phrases, you can change the type of variation that per phrase that you have available. So you try, for example. You see, it's not changing at the moment, but if you go to motif and change it to phrase, very much depends on the style that you have available. So let me go back, for example, to a basic one. So you can hear that the phrase is changing based on the variation that you have selected. Of course, you can also have other things in terms of motif. You can go up and down, and you can go random, you can go by note order. You can also have a glissando effect, which is really nice. It will play all the notes in succession between the notes that you have played in the chord. So let me give you an example. Select OK there, and let's press again on the keyboard a F major chord. So he's playing all of those, and to hear it better, let me set it to note values, which is really nice. It's something that you don't find in other arpeggio. Then you have also the ability to set the velocity for the keys you're pressing. Real means that it will play the arpeggio with the same velocity that you applied on the chord as you're playing on the keyboard. So if I play low, if I play hard, it will increase the volume, okay? Or if you don't like that, you can set the velocity and it will always play that velocity, regardless of the pressure you put on the keys. Okay? You can also, let's reset these to real. You can also set the octave range. So you can say go up an octave, down an octave, and you can go up and down multiple octaves as well, which is really nice. I still have that glissando effect. Let's change that to, for example, up and down. So it's really nice. Then you can also set the accent rate in percentages. And then what you have nicely as well is you have shuffle rate and also shuffle resolution if you want to create shuffle rhythms. Okay, so that in essence the arpeggio settings that you have available at the moment. Now, let's see how we could use this. Let's say that, for example, we remove that from the piano. We'll enable the arpeggio on the acoustic bass. Okay, and let's reset the range correctly to see 4 like this. Okay, and we have a bass below. Okay, let's enable that zone 2. Now let's click Shift and Arpeggio to change the style. So let's press Enter and let's choose something for an acoustic bass, or just a bass in general. So why not? Let's try this one. Which is nice. Let's go to phrase. Really nice. So in this way you can play with the arpeggio on the bass and you can play the piano on top. And of course the phrase will change pitch based on the key you press for the bass. And of course you can activate your rhythm pattern and have fun. Okay, perfect. So that is an introduction to the arpeggio. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's not my preferred functionality of the Fantom, and I do love my Fantom, but that is something I hope Roland will change, make better. Particularly playing multiple arpeggio, multiple instances would be really nice. Even if it's not 8 like a montage, maybe 4 would be really nice. But there is another functionality that you can use to come to help, and that is Step LFO, which we're going to see in one of the future tutorials, and that will allow you to simulate effectively an arpeggio per different partial, which becomes very interesting because you have a 4 partial per tone, and in that way you could have 4 different arpeggios in one single note playing. And then of course you can apply the same concept to multiple preset, and therefore you can create very complex arpeggiated scenes. But that's different than an arpeggio that is a Step LFO, and I will show you that in one of the future tutorials. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.